for the dreams they hope to reach, and the ones they left at sea. With their feet on cobblestone.
Hey everybody, welcome to Big Blend Radio's Toast to the Art Show. Today we're very excited to welcome Vincent Covello. Vincent is an amazing vocalist and songwriter. He's been in the industry for a number of years, and his new album is out now. It's actually a debut digital album. You can get it everywhere like Spotify, all those places. It's called Torchlights, and I encourage you all to get it for this beautiful time of year. It's calming, it's inspirational, it's caring, it's loving. It's absolutely beautiful. So you're going to want to get that for the holiday season. And if you're listening to this next year, well, it's a good way to start your year off. I'm just saying. So welcome, Vincent. How are you?
Oh, Lisa, thank you so much. And thanks to Big Blend for having me. I'm doing great. Excited for the holiday season, actually.
Yeah. You know, it's that time of year. We're supposed to be holly jolly, but I think your album is such a, it's very calming, and it kind of centers you. When you listen, you listen. It calms you down and makes you reflect on things, in life. And I really appreciate that with music that just gets you to sit, listen. I want to actually just sit with a glass of wine outside and listen to it, with the birds, but, putting this together, this came after the passing of some of your family, which I'm really sorry to hear about. That's never easy. Did this help you move forward? Because that, I think, was that tenderness comes from that.
Yep. Thank you for that. And yes, actually the album was, inspired, as a honoring for my family. From the beginning, I wrote the song Torchlight that is on the album after my parents passed and my brother had passed as well. And, all in a really short amount of time in 2020. And after I wrote that song, I had an inspiration to do the whole album as an honor for family and for everybody's family who has journeyed in life and brought prosperity and a better life for family members for generations. And so, yeah, that's really what it became, was a real family honoring album.
Tell us a little bit about the start of your music journey, because I know that you originally came from Michigan. Where in Michigan?
Well, I'm originally from Lansing, Michigan. And
okay.
Yes, I have been singing and writing songs and performing since I was really a real little boy. And my father heard me singing. Actually, a neighbor started it. They heard me singing in the backyard when I was about 5 years old. And they said, hey, you know what? Your kid is on the swing set singing at the top of his lungs at like 7 a.m. But we don't mind it because he can really sing. So my dad took that and ran with it. And we just got me into a local Italian band was the first one. And I was singing at every Italian wedding and every Italian function you can imagine for the Italian American Club, everything. And it just went on and on from there, a number of other bands. And I was just doing an enormous amount of performing since I was from the ages of 6, 7, all the way up into my teens, sometimes about 7 to 8 shows a month. A lot of stuff for the Muscular Dystrophy Telethon and with Danny Thomas, with ALSAC, a lot of fundraisers and things like that as well. So, Michigan was a big moment for me growing up as a performer.
Oh, wow. And then you came over to California and and made it. You made it in California. There's so much that you've done in your career, all different kinds of music too. But this album with Torchlights, it kind of goes into different genres, which I like. It just is really beautiful music. And like I was saying, it centers you. And so I know it's more in an adult contemporary. It's got a little jazz to me. I think it harkens to some of the music of the 40s and 50s even for me, even though it's contemporary,
Yeah, it has a blend.
You said blend. You get 10 points.
There you go. Exactly. All right. I'll try to say it a few more times.
Cool.
But honestly, it is. I've always loved wonderful lyric, storyline, and writing,
Mm.
and a very singer-songwriter base. Even though I have, like you said, done a lot of genres of music throughout my performing career and writing career. I was on the forefront of doing a trance dance music in the mid and even a little bit early '90s and mid '90s. At one point, and ushering in that sound of dance music, which was a surprise to me because I not planned to do that, but things just worked that way with producers and the record label that I was working with at the time, and that was exciting. But this album and this style of music is something I've done since I was very young, and coming back to it and putting together an album of this nature for me was really a dream come true, because this is the style of music I love the most and what I write most often, and have catalogs in music that are in this style. So I was just so thrilled to put together the Torchlights album. And I was also working with a really great musician and a very close friend of mine with the writing on some of the songs. So some of them are mine that I've written throughout my life that were for my parents and inspired by them. And then others along the way with Victor Migenes. And he and I had a bunch of songs that we really felt were right for this album. So those are on there too. And I'm just so glad you're moved by it. And this is something that you want to have that glass of wine and sit back and listen to, because that was the whole point. Let's go back. Let's sit and listen to a full album and enjoy that experience, the journey with story and song and emotions and movement. And I'm so glad that that's something you found in this.
Well, to me, and everyone hears music differently and they connect with it in a different way. And I think the album, I remember when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this is cool. And, started listening to it and I'm like, wow, what you touched on a few things that I think that really stood out for me is melody and then the actual lyrics. So many times lyrics are just like, do we care what we say anymore? but, so to me, I think the actual skill of writing lyrics and then, having a strong melody line that you can grasp immediately, yet still go when you first hear it, it's exciting because you're going somewhere you don't know, but you can remember it and be attached to it, cause you've got to think as humans, anything new, it's like, some of us, like for me, I'm a pig when it comes to music. I'm just like, give me more, give me new, give me, give me. I'm greedy about it, but I get very excited about new music and then really excited when it's good. And when, music that when I say good, that I resonate, can connect with. And I think sometimes when some people, it takes a while to listen to new music. And I think that in your career too. It's like, especially doing, weddings and things like that. You can't just do an original song without doing 5 covers and then slipping in there, once everybody's finished a bottle of wine, then can you do your original, right?
Yeah.
So I think the music you have to be that approachable that quickly stands for that you can just connect with the lyrics and connect with the actual melody immediately. And it's laid back, it lets you sink in and gosh, we need to breathe. I think we all need to calm. It's been a crazy year in this country and calming down is a good thing. We need to do that.
I agree. I mean, I did this very authentically, putting this together. So this came from a very true place. Lyrically, I think in songs, I agree with you. You don't hear tons of that. I mean, it's out there if you search it out, but I think as a whole, it's hard to find. But I feel when you're doing something authentic that is true, it will come through. And I believe that, my goal with this album was really an honoring, of course, and I needed to get that out of me. And a lot of these songs I knew were going to be emotional. And it was a kind of album that would make you feel a little bit of a throwback to maybe a style of an album you would have heard in a little bit of another time, where you would sit and go on a bit of an arcing journey from the beginning, middle to the end of listening to this and really sitting back and allowing yourself to think about a lot of different parts of your life,
Mm.
who you love, what you've been through, maybe your family members, some that may or may not be here, and but also where you're going and how you view love and relationships and all of these things in life. And I really felt that this experience for me as an artist was something that I knew the Torchlights album was going to encompass for me. So I was hoping it would translate and people would feel that and maybe go on that little bit of a journey with these songs and these stories and find themselves in them.
I love the title Torchlight for the song and then the album Torchlights because it, light represents, she just did a whole show on this about, in a place of darkness, like we're in winter now, which is, well, you're in Southern California, so it doesn't really matter, but, it does get chilly and we have longer, the days are, darker, longer than summer, but, it, no matter your religious or spiritual beliefs, and, in this holiday season, all of the belief systems are about light. In Hanukkah, you're lighting lights, and even New Year's, we want fireworks. And if you're Christian, you've got your twinkly lights. And who doesn't want twinkly lights? And who doesn't want taco trucks all lit up? Like I want a permanent taco truck to travel with us, just so I can have the twinkly lights, right? So, so I love that because it's like light in the dark, right? And it's, again, that's something to remember too. And in this time of year, it is a reflective time. It is a time to, think about those who we've lost, as we get older, we seem to lose a lot more quicker. I have a friend who says it used to be that, I'd have thank you cards and birthday cards on hand for when I forgot something, but now it's all sympathy cards. I'm like, stop it,
Oh man.
But like
that
stop
does
it.
happen in life as time goes on. You start to have that.
But you want memories, right? And to remember and have joy. Yes, shed some tears, but the more you feel, the more you loved, right? And so that's why I like the Torchlight, because you're also carrying the torch for those who have passed, and this torch of music. That's the other part is that kind of music. We need that. All of us at some point need to calm and have that centering sound. It's therapy.
Thank you so much for all of that, because that is exactly what I felt about this album and the concept of the light. I love that, what you said. And what it meant for me was the journey of our ancestors, what they carried with them throughout their lives and have brought. There's a light they carried for life through everything, through every hardship. And so my thought was in that song in particular, and then how it became, also basically the title of the album, was that I had a vision of a parent walking into a bedroom and seeing a small light on in the room and looking in the eyes of their child and seeing their eyes light up, looking at them and saying, the light in your eyes is glowing with the light of all of your ancestors because you have life. So you have carried it by being here, and it will continue. And so I just felt that was the image from the song Torchlight, and that story. And then so I thought, each one of these songs is a torch, as a light, is a light that you're carrying. So I thought Torchlights, let each one of them be a light and pull them together and put it in the title of the album. So again, it's about journeys. The album is a lot about journeys, and not just a journey of the afterlife, but also relationship journeys that we all go through. So there's a progression in everything. All the songs talk a bit about that. And there's some really fun songs in it too. But even in the Blow Your Mind song on the album, that is a song that is very jazzy and fun, and incredible saxophonist on it, a great band. But even that talks about a light. Not that every song does, but I just feel like even in every piece, you're carrying that torchlight. And it falls back a little bit to torch songs. There was a time when people understood what are torch songs, where these were, romantic, a little bit more ballad, story songs. Torch songs is something that's been around for generations.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of a throwback to that as well. So anyway.
I thought about that too, the torch songs.
Mm-hmm.
Do people still call them that? That's,
I don't know. I'm sure people know what
I
that,
don't.
some people know, but I
They
don't
should.
hear that anymore. So,
I grew up hearing about that from my mom. And that's the other thing. I think it's multi-generational, the music,
oh,
for all
thank you.
ages. That
You know
I
what,
think
you
is
know what's
something
funny
cool.
about that? Sorry, Nerd, it's so
Yeah.
interesting you said that because I thought, I wonder if younger people would hear this and what they would think, because this is obviously not a type of
hmm
album that maybe a lot of young people would listen to. But it's so interesting. A lot of the artists that I've worked with who are younger,
hmm
and it's incredible. Some that are 14 or 18
hmm
or 20, and they hear this, and I swear every single one has had the same reaction, which is their mouths sort of open and they're like, Vincent, wow, this is like really like real music, really good music. Like, wow, this is crazy. This is like epic.
It's
What are you
real.
doing? And the funny part is, I'm like, really? That's what you're thinking? I know you wouldn't ever buy this, but I think it's because no matter how old you are, when you hear something that's true and
hmm
organic and authentic and comes from a place deep in your soul and your heart, and you put it out there that way,
hmm
honestly, uh, you can't fight with that. It may not,
Yeah.
everyone has different things they like and different styles they like, but no matter what the style is, if it's coming from that place, I think you can't deny that there's something in it that moves you, one way
hmm
or the other. Dancing, up, down, ballad, whatever, however you feel. I think that's kind of why the reaction is what it's been from young people.
It's integrity. And the arts, we always talk about this in shows. Sure, there's music made because of, labels pushing their artists to do things. Oh, you must keep it at 2 minutes and 20 seconds or whatever it was back in the day for radio. And there was like, you will write about this. No, you can't do that. I mean, there was a lot of creative thumbs over musicians and writers back in the day, and so,
Yes.
and it's a kind of, the music industry is always changing, but there's a lot more creative control for those who are the creatives now, in regards to what they do musically. So, and the artists at the end of the day, I mean, even look what Prince went through, right?
Oh my, yeah. So
I
many
mean,
people, and he was one.
yeah, I mean, it's such a huge conversation of that, what artists may have had to do whatever the label said. And then as soon as they're out of the label's clutches, they're off running doing, I'm going to fix it and put out what I wanted, you know, I even did that on a recording. One of my songs out there, and it was completely not what I wanted, but I did it just out of a courtesy thing. And my mom went berserk. She's like, that's not the song. What are you doing to your music? You let somebody just rip it, and,
Yeah,
but later it'll come out on reality, the
sure.
arts tell the truth. The artists, and when I say artists, I mean painters, writers, musicians, the artists tell the truth of history, whether it's personal history, history of what's happening now, current times. When you listen to music, it has the sound, the atmosphere of reality, and no one can take away the reality of what that artist felt at the time, was experiencing, what the world was going, depending on what the song's about. Art is about the truth,
Well,
period.
I agree. I agree. It can be. I agree with you, and I think that's the type of art that no one can deny when they see it, whether it's a genre they like or not. I think what's coming through is the truth and authenticity, integrity, like you
Mm-hmm.
said. But I think also there's a place for. I've written formula songs with varying. I'm co-writing with people and different types of things that you do for different projects, whether it be a film or television type thing where you're writing something that's very specific that you have to write it for that. I think there's a place for that too. But I believe if you're doing something like this type of album or what you would want to do for yourself as an artist or as a writer or whether it be a painter or anything, I think that is its own thing. And to make a decision to do that, sometimes it's just you have to do it. And I knew this came through me for sure. I knew
Mm.
this was an album I had to do. And it was in my soul and it just was falling out of me. And I knew it was
Yeah.
going to happen.
channeling, I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those things you cannot deny it, right?
Exactly.
And yeah, I love that, and your next album may go back to dance, who knows?
You never know. I mean, that's a world I lived in, and you just never know.
Mm. Now you play the piano, right? Do you play
Yes.
any other instruments?
No, I play the piano and I write my music on the piano. Yeah, that's my
Okay. And then
instrument.
what I was going to ask is, I know that you've got Christmas music out there for people for this time of year. And if you're listening to this in 2025, there's nothing wrong with listening to Christmas music whenever you want to. And don't forget next holiday season. So I just wanted to touch on that because you
Oh,
do have a new single out, right, for the holidays.
yes, yes. I actually released a single, and it's called "Season to Rejoice,"
Mm.
and it's a song that I had written many years ago, and I had just a wonderful recording of this song, and I kept debating should I release this or not. Well, actually, I felt why it was in line for this timing for me was also I had Torchlights album out, but this was also a song that I wrote really inspired from my father, and I knew the story of this holiday song was something that he really,
Mm.
really loved, and he adored this song. And I thought, okay, it kind of fits along the lines of still something that has to do with my family and something that means something to me. So I decided, I'm going to put this out, and I'm really happy I have because it does touch my heart. This
Hmm.
song, it means a lot. It's in a
It is a beautiful song.
very traditional style. It's not a modern day, Christmas song. It's a crossover for sure, but it has a bit of traditional feel to it a little bit, and I don't know. I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, I love it. I'm putting it on our Christmas playlist.
Oh,
We have
wonderful.
yeah, we just, we put one that we add to every year. It's on Spotify and I'm going to add it because it's cool. People should hear it. I want
Oh,
them to.
Lisa, well, that's a big
It's
deal for me
beautiful.
for the big blend. There you go. Another one.
Yeah. I like making playlists, but then it's so funny because I think, we do them on Spotify and then sometimes on YouTube. And I love doing them because you end up learning so much. You hear so much music that you've got the ones that you think of, and I often have music friends collaborate on them that do podcasts with us. And next thing you know, you're hearing music from people you've never heard of, and you're like, "Wow, listen to that!" So the playlist thing is cool. I mean, to me,
Yeah.
it's like back in the day where we used to make mixtapes for road trips for friends, or
Oh, yeah. Of course.
I
That's
mean,
exactly what it is. That's awesome. Yeah.
it's a mixed tape, or
Yeah.
you do CDs. But I remember when I was a little kid making mixtapes from stealing them off the radio. Like I would record
Yeah.
off. Did you ever do that? Like where and then
Oh,
you'd get mad at the DJ for talking over a part of the song. I'd be like,
oh, that's
dude,
so funny.
you messed up the intro, or one of them would sing over something. I'm like, what are
Yeah.
you doing? You ruined it.
I might have done that. I definitely made mixtapes back in the day for friends and people for sure. So I
Oh,
loved doing that. I have a couple Spotify playlists out too that
oh, cool.
we put together. I have two out now, maybe, and I have one more coming for the holiday season too, very soon. So I
Oh,
love putting,
awesome.
like you, I love putting them together. I'm so happy you're going to have my season
Yeah.
to rejoice on with you. That makes
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to know, what does Christmas look like for you in the holiday season? Do you have any traditions, that you like to carry through and carry the torch on? How about that?
There you go. Yeah. Well, this is an interesting year. I'm actually going to be doing some performing in December,
Cool.
coming up very soon. But my traditions are I do a lot of, my mother was a great cook and I love her recipes and I love cooking. So I will be doing my traditional holiday cookies, varying cookies and wonderful treats and all of that. So that's going to begin really soon. So that's every year I must do that. And I have people already reaching out to me. All right, have you started the Christmas holidays cookies
The
yet? Or
Bake Off,
yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
the
So
Covello Bake Off.
there you go. You're right.
I'm all for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's always fun for me. But no, I do have a couple amazing performances coming up from
Cool.
for another Christmas. Well, it's really not a Christmas song. It's a holiday themed song that was actually I had in a film this year, a complete opposite style of film that you would even think of with this whole conversation about music, but it was in a really one of the biggest horror films actually of the year. Can you imagine? Two opposite extremes, but pretty amazing. It was in the Terrifier 3, which is pretty hardcore. But it was in that film, and I was working with an incredible musician and one of the best ever, Dave Eggar, and he was doing music for that film and the film scoring and songs for it. And we did our version. We wrote and did a version of "Deck the Halls," and he is a cellist, incredible piano player, and has worked with everybody. Done amazing stuff. Did Benson Boone's album recently. That's up for Grammys coming up, and just with everyone. Cool. Dave Eggar is incredible. So we did this song for the film, and it is out actually on an EP called Blood Before Pride Presents Tidings of Macabre Joy. And Deck the Hall on there. So that's out there everywhere on all platforms. And so we're going to be doing a couple performances in Tennessee, actually.
Oh, where?
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be doing a streaming broadcast, live broadcast on WHC 90.7 FM, the Down Home Radio Hour. And that's on December 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And
then where in Tennessee are you going to be, though, for that?
This one is, well, you know what? I've got to think here now because in two different places. I know the one is going to be in Knoxville.
Okay, beautiful.
And that performance is going to be on December 13th as well. And that's with WDVX 89.9's FM's The Big Plate Special. So two really amazing performances coming up from Tennessee on those two radio stations. So a live radio broadcast and live stream broadcast.
Tennessee is beautiful. I love Tennessee.
Yes, and they have a really amazing music scene that's happening there right now. That is really pretty incredible. So that's very exciting, and I'm going to be performing with the Dave Eggar Quartet. It's going to be a wonderful show with different holiday songs, and also I will be performing some of my songs from Torchlight on both live performance broadcasts. So that's pretty exciting. So
I love that. I love that because a lot of driving through that region, they do radio. When you can get onto a local station, it is so cool. Like Bristol, Tennessee is really awesome for music. When it comes to country music, they have like a live radio station out there that does like bluegrass and like the old school stuff, and it's live, and it's just we need more like that. That's awesome that you're going to be doing a live broadcast out there. Knoxville's beautiful, especially even in winter. You might get some snow. So dress warm, wear layers, and have fun. But everyone can go to your website for that, right? For everything that we're talking about.
Yes, it'll all be listed. What areas, what stations, what times, everything on my website. I'll be posting it also on Instagram and all platforms. So there you will see where to view all of this and listen. And so it's coming up soon.
Everyone, again, that is VincentCovellomusic.com, and I'll link that in the episode notes. So no matter where you're listening to this, you can just click on the link and go right there. And he's also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You got to go to YouTube. My gosh, yes, you must go to his YouTube page and watch some of the videos and connect there as well. So very excited. I'm so glad we connected and had you on the show, and it's beautiful music. I'm going to be listening more, and we're going to have to add more to, our playlists of fun, and happy holidays. Enjoy the end of 2024 and wishing you the best in 2025. And we'll see you do some, thriller New Year music that's electric dance. How about that?
Maybe there might be a dance remix album coming out with all of this. You never know.
You never know. I mean, come on. You can do whatever you want. That's the thing. Why be boxed in,
Exactly.
Is there a style of music that you have not done that you would just want to do even for the heck of it? Just, I want to go do, like, just for the fun of it, go sit in with another band, or just like, you never know. Come on. It's fun.
I mean, look, I can be very eclectic. So, I mean, I could do all kinds of different styles of music, but honestly, I really, my heart is here. I do love this so much. And I
Yeah.
am planning on doing a follow-up album not too long from now that I'm going to start. And that's been another dream album I've wanted to do forever with
Oh,
some
awesome. Well,
very,
please
very
come back
special
and
songs. So,
yeah, keep it. Your voice is so perfect for what you're doing, and it's just yeah.
oh, thank
I
you.
think, like I said, people need more of this music in the world, and so I'm glad you're going to do another album, a follow up to Torchlights, and everyone, you can get it now, and remember, you can gift music for the holidays.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes,
Happy holidays. Here's the album. Go for it. Send
yes,
it out there.
yeah, yeah. It's perfect.
Do you
But
remember
yeah,
when, can I say this? Do you remember when we would buy CDs or albums
yes,
as Christmas gifts and
yes,
wrap them up and people would be so excited to open that up and, oh, I got that CD, I got that vinyl. We can do the same thing with this. We can do it.
yes. You can, and you can, send it an email by phone,
Yes.
And if you are having shipping issues, like if you're like, oh, I better get something quick, the gift of music is always a joy. It's a new experience. And I think, when we look at gifts, experiences are always good and music sticks with you. So every time someone, listens to Torchlights and it's a gift, they're going to think of you, the
Oh,
giver. And they're going to think of you, Vincent, too, because you wrote it all and sang it.
oh,
So, I think
well,
that's the
thank
beauty
you.
about giving the gift of music is it can, I mean, that's the thing as a musician and a songwriter, a singer, you can never quantify what happens once something is released. Once an album is released, a single is released, it goes off on its own journey, right? Don't you wish you could like hear from every person that hears your music about it,
Yep, I do. I do. I think it's a gift really from the soul because music
Yeah,
touches your soul and there's no denying that. So I think it's always a beautiful gift to
mm,
give someone music.
I do too. Well, listen, take care. Thanks so
Thank
much
you,
for joining
Lisa.
us.
And thank you, Lisa. I thank you so much for having me here with you and on Big Blend Radio. I really am just so happy to have talked to you and have this moment with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was fun.
It really was.
Do you hear the bells ringing? Do you hear the people singing? Do you know why they make that sound? There's a boy that they all have found, and with him they all know their love.